Hello, this is Roland. In Matthew chapter 16, verse 24, Jesus told his disciples, "If anyone would come after me, let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." I want to talk about that today. What does he mean by deny themselves or deny yourself? And what does he mean by take up your cross? What he basically means is to, I can put it in a nutshell. I'll say it succinctly at the very beginning, so I don't go on and not say it, or so you won't hear it, so you don't hear it. I want you to hear it. What he means is, don't resent whatever happens to you, whatever the day brings or the year brings, the vicissitudes of life, the ups and downs, the highs and the lows. What people say, what they do, whatever it is, don't resent it. Okay? That's what, to bear one's cross, to bear your cross, means to not resent what happens, to bear it. Okay? In other words, to not take ego energy from it. See, the ego life, Christ also talked about laying down one's life. He meant to lay down the ego life, what the Greek calls psyche. They have two words for life, psyche and zoe. They have three words for life, bios, psyche, and zoe. Psyche is the ego life. The ego life of dreaming and planning and scheming and resenting and worrying and being angry and being excited and being passionate and being full of rage and having hurt feelings and being bitter. All of these things the ego feeds on, the pride feeds on. See? So the ego takes energy, takes life from everything. But remember, pride goeth before the fall. The wages of sin is death, remember? So that's sin. That's building up oneself, usually at the expense of others. So the way to go through life is to bear what happens. Remember the serenity prayer? That's actually quite good. To bear what you can't change. See, a lot of things you can't change. So bear those. And those things you can change, well, then maybe you can do something. Okay? But whichever you do, whether you do something or don't do anything, don't resent it. Don't resent it. See, when something happens, like let's say somebody cuts in front of you, well, you can just let it go. You can overlook. Or you can become angry, resentful, judgmental. But when you're angry, resentful, and judgmental, that feeds the life of pride. Okay? That feeds that ugly self in you, that ugly, angry, vicious self in you. That's what is fed. See, you have a beast self in you. That for any little thing is filled with rage, anger, and thinks bad things against other people. The beast self. Okay? The vicious self, the loveless self, the impatient self, the angry self. See? It's one reason why some people drink or take drugs, because they don't want to. They know that's in them, and they don't want to face it. They don't want to see. See, but there it is. Now, how did it get in? Well, that's a topic for another lecture. But what you have to see now is that ugly side of yourself is what you are feeding whenever you resent. Okay? Whenever you see all these other emotions that we talked about, hurt feelings, anger, rage, unhappiness, bitterness, all of those, they follow on the heels of resentment. If something happens, don't resent it. Bear it. Okay, so now you see what bear one's cross means? Bear your cross. In other words, don't resent it. Because resentment feeds that beast, feeds that wrong part of you. It makes you wronger. And the wronger you become, the more guilty you become before truth. and the more you want to hide in emotions. See? So just bear it. Now, when something happens, if somebody looks at you funny, or they say something mean or catty, or something happens, you bump your toe on a chair, or just something that is not particularly pleasant. Okay, it's okay to see that it's not pleasant. But don't resent it. Or don't resent the person. Or don't resent yourself. See, each little thing that happens that you can resent, it's like walking by a plate of chocolates. Okay? So there they are. Well, you have to learn to just walk by without going for the chocolate. But when you go for it and indulge it, see, it's an indulgence. These are all indulgences. You know what to indulge oneself is: to spend too much money, to drink too much, to eat too much, to buy too much. Those are indulgences, and you know that they're indulgences. Well, resentment is also an indulgence. Getting resentful, impatient, angry, those are indulgences. Okay? So bear your cross. In other words, suffer without resentment. Bear without resentment. And when somebody does something that is not something that you like, then overlook. In other words, don't censure, pass over it without censure, without judgment, without resentment. Okay? If they're wrong, it's okay to see that they're wrong, but don't resent them for it. Okay? See how that is? So it's very important. So denying yourself literally means, see, you're not really denying yourself anything, are you? You're denying the beast self, the wrong part of you. But you're so used to, and your soul, has gone along with it. See, your soul has gladly gone along with resenting and hating and reveling in feelings and hurt feelings and all that stuff. You've wallowed in them and reveled in them in the past. But now you see that they're an indulgence. And as you're getting older, you know that they're an indulgence. So now you have to learn to wean yourself from them. Okay, so if you stub your toe, you feel the pain, but don't resent the chair. Or don't resent the person who put the chair there. Or don't resent yourself. See? See how that works? All right. Well, I'm going to stop at this point because I made it quite clear. And it's a very important life lesson. Very, very important. So, thanks for listening and watching. And hopefully you can watch my next lecture, Lord willing.